Hello everybody, Ben Austin here, your New Rules Golf Coach, and today we're going to be talking about grip and waggle. Okay, so the first part of today's video we're going to talk about grip and what importance it plays in your golf swing. So the first thing that we're going to start with today is I want you to put your hands out in front of you like this, then take your thumbs and go like that. Okay, so you're going to put your thumbs kind of close to your index fingers, and that is how your thumbs are going to be when you grip a golf club. So let's start with the left hand. Once you get your thumb next to your forefinger, what we're going to do when we take our grip is get the grip to kind of go at a 45-degree angle here, so that the pad, this left pad kind of right under the pinky, is going to sit on the top of the grip, and your fingers are going to be underneath it. So if I open up my hand, you can see how the grip is kind of almost at a 45-degree angle. I can take this forefinger here, pointer finger, kind of get it under the club, get that little pad on top, and if you do it correctly, you could basically pick the grip up with just one finger on the club. If you can't get the club up with one finger, that means you're probably holding it wrong. So once you have that finger under there, go ahead and put the other fingers around it, and then get that thumb nice and close to this first finger. So if you look at my grip here, you can see how my thumb and my forefinger appear to be level, so they're equal. So my thumb is not really stretched out. That's what we call a long thumb. You actually want a short thumb in golf. So that's going to be how you hold it in your left hand. You want that pad to be up on top, your fingers underneath, and your thumb to be nice and close to that first finger. Okay? So that is how your left hand is going on the club. Now with the right hand, once you get your thumb close, we're going to start with a basic 10-finger grip, but we're going to get this little opening in your right hand to go right over the thumb. And now with our right hand, we're going to get this top pointer finger to kind of get a little space here and almost make look like a question mark or a hook. So you can see when I grip, I have a little bit of space between these fingers here, and this thumb lays to the side and just about touches it. Now that little hook is an important part of your grip, because what that little hook does is when you get to making full swings, that's where the pressure lays when you get to the top. So if you don't have a proper grip, now let's say these fingers are close together and this thumb's really stretched out, there's a good chance that that club may kind of move around at the top of your grip, at the top of your swing. So that is basically the placement of your hands. Now you can also take the pinky of your right hand and overlap it between your first two knuckles on your left, or you can interlock. It's all preference. You know, so some of the greats have interlocked and some have overlapped, and I've seen some really good players go 10-finger, so it's all preference. Now once you have your hands on, we got to make sure if you have what's called a weak grip, a neutral, or a strong. Okay, so if I have what's considered a weak grip, when I take my grip, this thumb and this forefinger make a crease here, or what some people will say call the letter V. If I have a weak grip, that letter V is going to point towards my left ear or left shoulder. Okay? At this point, when I look down, I can't see any knuckles on my left hand. Okay, so that's a very weak grip. This right hand would be very much on top. Okay, so that's a weak grip. Pretty common in golf. That's going to tend to make the ball go to the right. Now a strong grip would be the opposite. Would be if this hand was turned very far to the right, where that V or that crease points more towards my right shoulder. This right hand is more underneath the club. That's going to tend to make the ball go to the left. And a neutral grip would be, a strong grip, I'm sorry, you could see 3 or 4 knuckles. And a neutral grip would be where you can see maybe 2 knuckles. This crease kind of points to your right ear, okay? And this right crease kind of points towards your right ear as well. So very important to know this, because if you are tending to slice the golf ball, you may want to try to strengthen your grip. You know, so you may want to turn your hand over more to see more knuckles. That would be the first thing to start with. You know, the grip's very important, and Ben Hogan said it a lot. I mean, he went into depth about the grip, and he studied it more than anybody. But if understand what your ball flight's doing, and then go back to your grip and say, well, is my grip too strong or is it too weak? You know, and I would say I try to get people more towards neutral to slightly strong, but understand what your grip does to the club face. Okay, so when you take a grip, make sure you can see at least 2 knuckles on your left hand. I'd have you hold the club out in front of you so you can see the club face is square, straight up and down. Then place your right hand on the club. So now you know your grip is matching the club face. Okay, so you know you wouldn't take a grip like this, and you wouldn't take a grip like that. You try to get the club face straight up and down, grip it, and then you can set up. Okay. So that is some of how to grip a club. That's kind of the basics. I mean, you can get into more advanced stuff, but that's a good general sense of how to grip the golf club. Now, I have a very good friend of mine. He's a lefty who's going to be nameless in this video, but he has a very big problem of gripping too tight. And he asked me, there's a helicopter flying by, so sorry, but he asked me, how do I get rid of the tension once I grip it? So this is where, going back to Ben Hogan, he always talked about the waggle. And if you ever seen Jason Duffner, you know, Jason Duffner has probably one of the best waggles in golf, where it's just real big, and it's kind of a pre-swing kind of move to get the tension out of your hands. And what a waggle is just kind of a cocking, uncocking of your wrists, basically to try to get the tension out. You know, so if you try to do a waggle where you hold on to that club as tight as you can't really waggle the golf club. So what you'd want to do is, once you have your grip, do a couple waggles, and that's kind of a sign that you have the tension out of your hands and wrists and arms. And then once you have that waggle, then you go ahead and hit your shot. Okay? So I hope that this video helped you understand a little bit about the grip. Understand what your ball flight's doing. Maybe change your grip. Start with your grip. If that doesn't work, we'll have to go on from there. But start with grip, get a little bit of waggle to your swing, and hopefully you'll find that your ball striking gets better and direction gets better as well. Visit BenAustinGolf.com or DeerfieldGolfClub.com, and you can also check out SwingReader.com. Have a great day.